Today is a day that many players have been waiting for. Today, Haka Time Rugby selects its Form 15 of the Rugby World Cup. Kia ora everyone, my name is Zach and I love rugby. Welcome back to Haka Time Rugby. As I said, we're selecting the form team of the World Cup based on performances so far after week 3. My intention is to do the same at the end of pool play and at the end of the tournament so that we come up with an overall tournament selection for Haka Time Rugby First 15. Now, I encourage discussion and I encourage debate. The whole reason that we're doing this is in order to hear what you have to think about who you think has performed really well. Or if you disagree with any of the points I raised in this video, I encourage it all. So please get involved in the comment section and let's discuss. If you agree, I want to hear it. If you disagree, I want to hear it. But more importantly, I want to know which players we should be looking out for. Because ultimately, I want to come up with that final state selection and I want it to be based on significant discussion, debate, and obviously key criteria being performance of the players. So with that said, let's dive straight into this. Okay, we kick things off in the front row and the first selection in the Haka Time First 15 is none other than Cian Healy of Ireland. I was very impressed with his performance against Scotland. I thought he was very strong in the scrums and the set piece. He was incredibly mobile around the field. He even managed to secure one of the loose balls that were there in a key moment in the game. And he's impressed me. He is one guy that you can rely on in that scrum, and I think that's crucial in this World Cup, that you have a strong set piece and that it's built on guys like this. So Cian Healy is the first selection in the team. At hooker, and following this theme of mobility, it can't be anyone else other than Shota Hori of Japan. To me, he has been the form hooker in this tournament. He is incredibly mobile. Against the Irish team when Japan secured the win, he was the man of the match. And I think part of it is his incredible work rate around the field. He's also an excellent scrummager. There was a moment in the 34th minute against Ireland that Shota Hori and the front row were extremely dominant in the scrum and managed to break straight through that Irish scrum. So to me, it's Shota Hori, and he's going to be very difficult to beat as we look at the rest of the games in this World Cup. I can't see anyone dethroning him at present, but let's see. There are a couple of notable performers that we will watch along the way. The final selection in this front row, the Haka Time First 15 front row, is Kyle Sinclair of England. Again, another guy that will not let you down, incredibly strong in the set piece. Against Argentina, I thought he was really good, and he's proven that he is one of the keys to this English forward pack as they look beyond the first set of pool play matches and into the quarter final. That's the front row. Let's get to the next selections. Now we move on to the locks to round out the type 5. And it is an all-European affair here. At number 4, lock, Maro Itoje. He has been incredible in this tournament so far. Incredibly strong at the set piece. Very dominant at line-out time. And extremely aggressive in defense. That's one area of his game that I've been extremely impressed with. He is also very mobile for a big man. He can also play in the loose. So you have some loose cover there, but I think overall he has been one of the form locks of this tournament. His locking partner, rounding out the type 5, and also captain of the Haka Time Rugby First 15, ALUN Wyn-Jones. I've been very impressed by him. Obviously, he brings the game management as a great captain of the Welsh team, and he really leads by example, but this Welsh team has been incredibly composed and poised, and when you hear ALUN Wyn-Jones speak, you know exactly why. He leads by example, he is a great advocate of the game, and he's incredibly good on the field. So I've been impressed with him. He is the Haka Time Rugby captain, and he is number 5 in the Haka Time selection. On to the loose forwards. Now, the loose is one area that is incredibly contentious. There are some very good players in many different teams, all applying their trade here at the Rugby World Cup. But we can't select them all. So we're focused on the standout performers. At number 6, I have gone with Ardie Savea. The man is a machine. He has an incredible work rate. It's probably the fastest number 6 in the game and just seems to dominate both in the physical exchanges on attack and defence. For a smaller guy, and this is one of the criticisms coming into this Rugby World Cup, can this All Blacks pack, being a mobile, particularly in the loose, being a mobile, quick, agile, loose trio, can they compete with the more physical packs? Against South Africa, he demonstrated that he can. Not only that, but he brings additional skill sets to this role. He is a key link man in the back line between forwards and backs. He often is there throwing the last pass. He is incredibly quick, and he has demonstrated his pace already in this game. For that reason, Ardie Savea gets the nod at number 6. At number 7, and this might be one up for debate, so if you agree or if you disagree, please do comment down below. And I will say one more thing on the 7. It was incredibly close, right? So for me, there were 2 players who could have stepped into this role, but I have selected Michael Hooper, the Wallabies captain, as the open side flanker for the Haka Time Rugby First 15. Against Fiji in particular, in a dominant first half where Fiji were well on top of the Australians, he demonstrated why he is the captain of this team and one of the best number 7s in the world. He was the standout performer for Australia for me in that first half. He never gave up, he was in amongst everything, and he managed to secure a try in that first half. Then he led his team to victory in what was a very, very complete and good performance by the Fijian team. He has been in amongst everything, continuing that into the game against Wales, and for that reason, he is my current best number 7 in this tournament and the Haka Time Rugby open side flanker. At number 8, and this is another contentious one, but this guy, in terms of work rate, has been incredible. I have gone for Kazuki Himeno of Japan. Now, he leads all players in this tournament with number of runs. He has 40 runs in this tournament, and he proved it against both Samoa, as well as the work that he did in Ireland. To me, the Irish victory was built on the back of an incredibly mobile forward pack. They were dominant going forward and continued to put pressure on that Irish team. As a result of that continuous pressure, they were able to get on top. And it was all through mobility and agility, and it was all led from this guy. He continued that at number 8 against Samoa. He has an incredible work rate. And also, he's one of these guys in this Japanese team who has pioneered this tactic of running into contact, hitting the ground, releasing the ball very, very quickly, getting up on all fours, recollecting the ball, and getting that extra meter or 2. And that is the reason that it's another reason that Japan is able to put defenses on the back foot, force the defense to reset, and get it out wide to the back line, which has been lethal as well. Some of the back line will feature in the rest of this team. You'll have to watch to see where. But Kazuki Himeno gets my nod at number 8 in this team. And now we move to the spine, 9, 10, and 15. And I expect this one to be quite contentious. So please, I encourage discussion and I encourage debate on this. If you agree or if you disagree, feel free to let me know down below. Let's get the discussion going. Who have I missed? Who have I got it? Where have I got it right? I really want to hear your opinion. So please get involved in the discussion. Now, number 9. I don't think there'll be too much controversy around this one. Gareth Davies of Wales. He proved against Australia that with a shadow of a doubt, he is the fastest number 9 in the game, particularly off the mark. His intercept try just before halftime, it was very, very impressive. People now are even debating whether it was onside or offside. My initial reaction, and it was based purely on his speed, was that he was offside. How could you be that far forward and not be offside? So I thought the refs got it wrong in the moment. Watching back in the replays, he is right on the line. So you have to say his off-the-mark speed is out of this world. He's incredibly quick. And not only that, but his powers of anticipation. He had a number of intercepts during this game. And you only get that when you're able to visualize what the attacking team are doing and be in a position to take the ball very, very quickly. It helps that he has that lightning pace. And I don't think anyone in the number 9 position can foot it with this guy. Probably the only one who I think is close would be Brad Weber of New Zealand, although he doesn't get enough game time to be able to really demonstrate it. But he is incredibly quick, and he is the number 9 for the Haka Time First 15. Moving on to 10, this one will be contentious. Now, I came up with 2 players here that have really, really impressed me, and for very much different reasons. So I'm going to give you the 2 names, and then I'm going to tell you who I selected, and I'll explain why. So, the two names are Johnny Sexton from Ireland and Richie Mo'unga from New Zealand. The reason I really like Johnny Sexton, he is probably the most critical player to any team in this World Cup. Right? He means more to Ireland than any other player does, in my view, to their team in this World Cup. He has proved that when he is on the field, Ireland are extremely dominant and very, very good. When he is off the field, they just cannot manage games to get victories. He did not play against that Japan team, and I know he was under some injury cloud, but it demonstrated how valuable he is to this team. If you contrast the first game against Scotland versus this game against Japan, Ireland stopped playing rugby after the 20th minute. They jumped out to a quick lead. They managed to get to 12-3, but by the 20th minute, they did not score another point. Their game management was poor. They were unable to get on top of the spirited Japanese challenge. And part of the reason was the tactical kicking was poor. There was not enough go forward in the forwards, but also that game management that he brings to this team, it was lacking, it was missing. Against Scotland, it proved just how valuable he is. Not only that, but against Russia. Right, he came off at the 40th minute. In the first half, they were dominant against Russia. The second half, again, Ireland just invited Russia back into the game. Now, Russia were never a chance of winning this game. But for some reason, when he goes off the field, when he's not involved in the play, the Irish team are not able to manage the game. And to me, that's one of the reasons he has to be considered one of the best, most influential 10s in this tournament. Not only that, but he's probably the most physical 10 in this tournament. Certainly the best defender, in my view. So, for those reasons, he gets in consideration for number 10 of this team. The other player, Richie Mo'unga. Now, I had reservations with him coming into this World Cup. I thought he was one player in particular that you can put under pressure and force some errors. Now, against South Africa, he started very, very poorly, but he came into his own. He built into it. He built that confidence. Not only that, but he's got all of the repertoire in the book. He can kick, pass, run. And that try for George Bridge against South Africa, when New Zealand just opened up South Africa, that showed just how good and critically it will be to this team. The crossfield kick. Firstly, the vision to see that it's on. Secondly, the ability to take the option and execute perfectly. That kick went straight over to Severis, who caught, beat his man. The rest is history, but it was all led by a great performance from Richie Mo'unga. His tactical kicking in that game was excellent. Certainly one of the main reasons why New Zealand were able to get on top in that game. Not only that, but in the game against Canada, in incredibly humid conditions where both players were absolutely exhausted, he managed to kick a perfect 8 from 8. Now, my view, goal kicking is going to play a crucial role in this Rugby World Cup, and you want someone who is as accurate as he is. So for that reason, he gets the nod in this Haka Time First 15. It was very tight between these two players, between Johnny Sexton and Richie Mo'unga, but I've selected Richie Mo'unga because he brings both the tactical interplay, he can kick, pass, run very, very effectively, and also his goal kicking is probably the best so far in this tournament. At 15, and there may be no surprises around this one, although there are other players that can make a case. One thing I'll mention on this. So Stuart Hogg was very, very close to making this team. The performance that he had for Scotland in their last game was very, very impressive. But they just haven't shown enough regularity of performance to be able to force his way into this team. One player that has shown his consistent, high-quality performances is Beauden Barrett. So he gets the nod at 15 for me. Obviously, as a playmaker, he can do it all. Right? And coming from the back there, he gives this team, this New Zealand team, incredible options and variety from the back. I'm going to cover this off in a full video on how to beat the All Blacks, because I think he is crucial to this All Blacks team. And at 15, he gets significantly more time and space and is able to attack with absolute vigor. He's proven how dangerous he is. He proves how quick he is. He's proven how crucial he is to this All Blacks team and this All Blacks attack. So for me, Beauden Barrett is the form 15 at this tournament, and he makes the Haka Time Rugby First 15. Now, on to the rest of the backs. Now we move to the midfield, and this was again extremely close. There were 3 players that I really have been impressed with in the midfield. We can only select 2, so let's cover the 3 names. Firstly, and he makes the team at number 13, I don't think this will be too controversial, MANU TUILAGI. He proved how destructive he can be against both Tonga, where he scored the first couple of tries, but also against Argentina. He is incredible. He's been an absolute rock for this English team and their attack and their go-forward momentum. MANU TUILAGI is key. Not only that, but he has X factor. So without a doubt, he's probably the greatest tackle breaker in the game at the moment. To me, he's the greatest ball runner in the game at the moment. And for that reason, he makes the 13th spot. Then we have 2 very good performers who were very hard to separate in this. And I'm going to give you the 2 names. The first one, Anton Lienert-Brown for New Zealand. Now, he is very underrated in New Zealand. He is very underrated in this world in terms of world rugby, but he's proven just how critical he is and how much X factor he actually has in the game. There was a try against South Africa where he was able to break the line. The defence was tiring, but he found the gap between 2 forwards, and that was a gap that not many players could really take. But he has deceptive speed. He was able to go through that gap and obviously get that away for the try. Not only that, but his defence, his reads on defence have been crucial for this All Blacks team. He's able to stop some of that attacking play from the opposition before it really gets kicked off. He has incredible rugby IQ and he's solid in defence. So for that reason, he is in consideration. The other person that has really impressed me in the midfield and he has sparked the attack is Tim Lafaele for Japan. Now he's proven just how critical he is to their attack as well. There's been a number of times where he's done the little flick pass offloads in tackles. He just is able to get the ball away, and he's part of the reason why Matsushima has been extremely successful in this World Cup, is that midfield combination, in particular in Lafaele, his ability to feed his wings is just incredible. He ignites the backline for Japan, and that is part of the reason why they have been so effective in this World Cup. But we can only choose one of them. One of them to fill that remaining spot in the Haka Time Rugby First 15, and the player that I'm choosing is Tim Lafaele. So in the midfield, we will have Tim Lafaele and we will have MANU TUILAGI, and we'll probably move Lienert-Brown to the bench. On to the next selections. On to the wingers, the strikers, the assassins, the finishers, the speedsters. Now, there have been some incredible tries scored in this game by different wingers from different teams, but there's a couple of players who I think have stood out above the rest. At number 11, Semi Radradra of Fiji. His performance in that game against Georgia is probably the best performance by an individual in this Rugby World Cup so far. He was in amongst everything. He scored 2 tries. He set up 3 tries. He was dangerous in attack. And he'll be key between Fiji and Wales when they play in their final pool game. If he can really get going, Fiji are a chance in that game. Now, Wales have a very good squad, so, one man cannot win a game, but, it'll be very interesting. If he starts to get some real strike and get some points on the board, anything could happen. Now, it's most likely Wales will win that game, but he is one player in particular who could make it very interesting, and he's proven that he's one of the better finishers in the game so far in this tournament. So without a doubt, he is selected at number 11 in the Haka Time Rugby First 15. At 14, it has to be Cheslin Kolbe. He is a speedster. He has incredible agility. There was one try that he scored against Italy where he just seemed to dart through players, beating one with a right foot step, coming back and straightening, beating the next with a left foot step, and scoring in the corner. It was a try that only he could score with that kind of agility and that kind of pace. So for me, he gets the nod. Not only that, but under the high ball, he is extremely effective, and teams are opting for those crossfield kicks, the tactical box kicking. So for that reason, he's going to be critical to South Africa as they move forward into the rest of the tournament. He gets the nod at 14. That's the wingers, and that's the Haka Time Rugby First 15. And there it is, the Haka Time Rugby First 15, selected 1 to 15. Let's do a quick recap. Now, we will get to the reserves after this, but I just want to do a quick recap of the names selected in the 15. At number 1 from Ireland, we've got Cian Healy. At number 2 from Japan, we've got Shota Hori. At number 3 from England, it's Kyle Sinclair. At number 4, with that incredible work rate, great performance in the lineouts and the set pieces, as well as very, very good defense, it's Maro Itoji. Your captain at number 5 is Alan Wynne-Jones. He brings that game management, that cool head, and is easily the best man manager, I think, in this tournament. At number 6, we've gone with Adi Sevilla. His agility, his pace, his skill set, incredible. At number 7, again with a very, very high work rate, we've gone with Michael Hooper from Australia. At number 8, it's Kazuki Himeno. Had the number 1 in terms of runs in this tournament so far, and critical to this Japanese forward pack in terms of mobility, strength, and go forward. At number 9 is none other than Gareth Davey of Wales. At 10, it's Richie Mo'unga, extremely accurate with the kicks both tactically and in terms of goal kicking. At number 11, it's Semi Radradra, the most dangerous winger in this game, and certainly the best performance of this tournament. At number 12, we went with Tim Lafaele. At 13, we've gone with Manu Tuilagi, the most destructive ball runner in rugby at the moment. At 14, Cheslin Colby, the most agile winger in the game. And at 15, Bowden Barrett, all that experience, all that pace, all that skill. That's the 15. I want to hear what you guys think. Please let me know. Are there any you agree with? Are there any you disagree with? Let's debate it. Tell me who to look out for as well. Who have I overlooked? Now, we're going to go through the reserves now, the remainder of the 23, 8 more players to select, and that'll make up the full squad. Let's do that. So now we move to the reserves, and there were a number of guys who were incredibly close based on their performances to date. And these guys could still force their way into the Hakatime Rugby tournament team between now and the end of the tournament. But we'll keep an eye on them in terms of their performances in the lead up to that final decision point. Now, these players are, firstly, Atu Moli of New Zealand. Now, he came in and played against Canada. And anyone who watched that game will know that humidity has been a real concern at this Rugby World Cup. In that game in particular, it was well over 95% humidity. It was incredibly humid. And in that type of game, it's both wet weather rugby, as well as it's really sapping and draining in terms of energy. Now, he played an 80-minute performance in that game. No other, I don't think any other prop could really do that with that kind of work rate and that motor. So for that reason, I've selected Atu Moli, firstly as prop cover in the Hakatime Rugby 15. Next, at hooker, Tolulatu, the try-scoring machine. He scored a couple against Fiji, and he's been rock solid for Australia in this tournament so far. He's another guy, incredibly mobile, high work rate, and he proved his abilities both in driving mauls and set piece in a couple of the games along the way, so he makes the team. The next player, and he was close to forcing his way in, from South Africa, Peter Steph Tutoi. Now, he was one player against the All Blacks who never stopped trying. He was rewarded with a try, very, very high rugby IQ. The way he scored that try was to go straight up the middle. And I think it's an area of vulnerability for the All Blacks, so I'll touch on that when I get to my video on how to beat the All Blacks. But he's impressed me. Obviously, he has a high work rate. He needs to have that as a 7. He's incredibly strong over the ball, hard to budge. So he just misses out on that spot, but he makes the reserves of this team. Next player, CJ Stander of Ireland. Again, another guy with a high work rate. Very, very good with ball in hand. To me, he's probably standing out as one of the better ball runners, as well as Kazuki Himeno, as well as a number of other number 8s. But he's starting to stand above them in terms of work rate and his ability to run with ball in hand. I like him in the scrums. I like him in and around the attacking rugby. So, CJ Stander, you make the team at number 8 reserve cover. Then at 10, we spoke about Johnny Sexton. So he is in the squad. He makes it as first 5 cover. It was very, very close between him and Richie Mo'unga. But for that, the reason of accuracy of both tactical kicking and goal kicking, I went with Richie Mo'unga. But certainly Johnny Sexton is just behind him. Now next, we spoke about Anton Leonard Brown. So he makes cover for the midfield. Again, another guy who could force his way into this team by the end of the tournament. He'll certainly get his opportunities as we look forward into quarterfinal rugby, and just dips out based on the performance from Lafayette, who I think has that significant offloading capability. Next reserve player, we went with Kitaru Matsushima. Obviously an absolute killer on the wing there for Japan. Scored 4 tries in this tournament, lit up the first game against Russia, and is certainly one of the better finishers in this tournament. And finally at 15, a utility back cover, Stuart Hogg. Now he impressed me with his ability to goal kick, his ability to tackle break, his ability to run on counter-attacks. He's an incredible player. There was a real contention I had at 15. I mean, selecting Bowden Barrett I was very comfortable with, but that second fullback cover was quite difficult to come up with, and I've gone with Stuart Hogg here. I think he just offers a little bit more, but Elliot Daly was very, very close from England. But yes, certainly from Scotland, Stuart Hogg gets the nod. And that is it. Haka Time Rugby's team from 1 to 23 selected. Tell me what you think. I mean, we've covered a lot of names, a lot of reasons. We've left out a lot of names for a lot of reasons. And I want to know what you think. Are there players I've overlooked? Are there players that you would select? Do you think some of the players I've selected don't deserve to be there? If you do, tell me why. Let's engage in the discussion. As I say, at the end of pool play, in a week and a half's time, I will select an updated version based on the completion of pool play. And you guys might even have an opportunity to change my mind on some of these players. And that's why I really want this discussion to get going. And then again, we will do it again. At the end of the tournament, we will select the tournament team, the form team of the tournament, Haka Time Rugby's prestigious awards. So stay tuned for that. But as I say, I encourage the discussion. I encourage the debate. Please get involved in the comment section. And like this video if you've enjoyed it. I mean, I like to encourage debate on this channel. Anyone who's watched these videos knows that's the whole reason I'm putting out content, is that I enjoy rugby, I enjoy talking about rugby, and I enjoy talking about rugby with everyone from everywhere. So please get involved. If you've enjoyed it, please like. If you want to have a chat, please comment. And if you want more videos like this, please subscribe. Haka Time Rugby will be coming back with more. The other call out, we have a competition running right now. I'll put that at the end of this video. Please enter in that. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Talk soon. Competition, competition, competition time. It's competition time, guys. Welcome back to Haka Time Rugby. Now, for those who were following previously, you will know that we ran a competition on the Ireland versus Japan match. The competition itself was very, very simple to enter. All you have to do is subscribe. That's step 1. Step 2 was to select the score and the winner in that game. Now, unfortunately, myself included, nobody predicted that Japan was going to win versus Ireland. So that means we are running another competition. And it is going to be on the final pool match between Japan and Scotland. All you've got to do, very, very simple, is subscribe. That's step 1. Pick the score. That's step 2. And tell me who is going to win. That's it. If you do that, you are in the draw, and the winner will receive an international rugby jersey of your choice. Now, the conditions on this, we will close off the entries 1 hour before the match. The jersey has to be easy enough for me to buy as well. I don't want some custom jersey, $2,000, $5,000. No, it must be standard issue international jersey, accessible on any website that I can go to, purchase and send to you very simply. So that's it. You got a lot of time to enter, so I encourage you to share, tell your friends, get them all involved, and let's pick a winner here. This one could go either way as well, so I hope to see entries on both sides. Japan winning, Scotland winning. One last point, you can only enter once per subscriber, and that is it. Please, please, please give me your predictions in this video. And that's it. Good luck. Talk soon, guys. See ya.